All right. Now we're going to be talking about taking your topics from multiple sources. So far, all of your sources have been in the IEW book, most likely, or from the IEW book. And even in this unit, this is unit 6, most of your sources will be from the IEW book, but eventually we'll get to outside sources. If after you take this course, you find yourself in a school or in a college somewhere and they want you to find sources, most likely they will not be from a book, like all one book, like the IEW textbook. You'll need to go to the library, or you'll need to look at the books on your own shelves, or borrow some books, or maybe even purchase a book, especially if it's something you're really interested in anyway. I have purchased books for research papers before if it's a book I really wanted. Most of the time, though, you're going to go to the library. Where will you find your sources? You're going to get them from books, obviously. I like to find books that are, I don't usually go for books that are all about one topic, although that can be good. But then you're tempted to get all of your information from that one book, since there's a lot of information, say, about one person. So if let's say you're going to do a report about John Adams, you can go and get a book about John Adams, but it's so full of information, it might be kind of hard to pick what you want. Now, there's nothing wrong with it. You can go ahead and do that. I like to find, if I was going to do one about John Adams, I think I would go get a book about presidents and then just look up the part about John Adams. He'll probably be a chapter or two in the book. And then there's not nearly as much information there, and you're not wading through 100 or 200 pages of information. There's all of the relevant facts are there. That's my own personal preference. Or you can find a history book. If you found a history book and then look John Adams up in the index, then maybe you can find, 10, 20 details about him, which is not too much to sort through. Those are a couple of different ways. You can look in an encyclopedia and just look him up, and there might be several paragraphs or several pages about him. You can maybe look up old newspaper articles. You could get magazines, either old ones or new ones that it's talking about maybe current events as it relates to maybe his beliefs about government or something. What else could you do? There are journals online. They're slightly different than magazines, like scientific journals and things. I don't know if any of them would mention him because they're scientific, but there might be like historical journals. There probably are that might mention him, and they're a lot like magazines. You can go online and get articles off the internet. One caveat to that is that anybody can write anything on the internet, so try really hard to find a website that you think is reputable, that they're not just making things up. So Wikipedia has a bad reputation for anyone can edit it. So you don't want to take any of your information directly off of Wikipedia. But what I do like to do is start with Wikipedia and then look down at the bottom of the page for the external links or the references, and it will list the names of books that people got their information from, or give you the addresses to websites that people got their information from. And if any of those websites are reputable websites, maybe one of them is like history.com, or something that maybe it's even johnquincyadams.com, that would probably be more likely to be owned by someone that that actually was a legitimate website. Now, it might still be owned by somebody who's just making things up, but it's not as likely because there are probably foundations and things dedicated to him. But anyway, if you have any trouble deciding what you think is a legitimate website, you can ask your parents for help. I don't like websites that use lots of flashy graphics and big words and all kinds of colors and stuff, because I think it looks not very professional. And so chances are it was made by somebody that's just, it's their hobby instead of they really know a lot about it. What else? If you can see that someone is pushing an agenda on the website, I usually stay away from those. So if they use all caps or something and they're really shouty, or if they're showing you a one-sided opinion, I usually stay away from those kind of websites too. So you just use your judgment and you'll get better at it as you put a little bit of effort into trying to decide which websites are the best. There are also things you can Google on the internet, like how to tell if a website is reputable, or how to tell if a website is legitimate. And you can Google that and maybe get some ideas, some better ideas for how to tell. Anyway, so I just want to give you guys some ideas of where to find your source text. Like for this class, there's maybe only going to be 1 or 2 classes where you have to go outside of the IEW textbook, but that'll just give you some ideas. Okay. All right, guys. I'll be seeing you guys in class. And again, let me know if you have any questions. Okay. All right. Bye.